Well, we're almost live on YouTube.
Ooh, we're very live here. Ooh.
Now we're live.
That's
Good Wizzo.
Ah, I love Wizzo.
Do you?
I should dress up as Wizzo for Halloween.
I think you dress up like
I
Wizzo
should.
every day.
I should go Wizzo, you go Cookie, and then my sax arm go Bozo. That sound good? That would be a great Halloween together costume.
I like the Cookie idea because if I recall, Cookie was a huge drunk.
He was. He had a little bit of a booth.
And I feel like
a legend.
I've already got the hair. I just need to cut out the middle.
Or just put like the fake, the thing over the top.
We got to do a realistic. We got to shave the middle. So, what we wanted to talk about tonight, before we go out drinking with the rest of the crew, is a lot of people have been raising complaints about the off season
already,
and how the
nothing's happened yet.
The Sox are not going to do this. They're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And they're just going to have a bad offseason. And the problem that I have with this is not that you may think that. It's that you're setting no baseline for what you believe to be a reasonable offseason.
That's correct.
So no matter what happens, unless they sign Cole and Rendon, you have the ability to bitch about it.
This is something we covered in the 108 podcast when I said, I think the average fan, not the average White Sox Twitter person, the average fan is going to be like, oh, the Sox are pretty good and this team's getting better. The average White Sox Twitter person who should be analytically inclined, should understand how these things work, they're going to throw a fit. They're going to be like a little kid emotionally. And like, even if they make some reasonable moves, they're going to be pissed. You're exactly right. They're going to be pissed. They're already pissed.
Yeah. And so what we would want to do here is come up with the absolute mediocre offseason.
Yes.
The offseason
Perfectly mediocre.
That we won't be mad about, but we wouldn't be excited about. This is our baseline. It should be better than this. It should not be worse than this.
Right.
That's where we're going to try and draw the line on the main positions that we're trying to fill this year, which are first base, right field, second base, backup catcher, DH, and 2 starting pitchers. This is what has been widely reported the Sox are going after. So we're going to try and fill those spots with guys so mediocre it will upset you.
But it'll be fine.
But what you have to understand is if they did all these, the team would be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't be great, but they'd be pretty good. You got it. When we started going through this, you wouldn't believe how bad some of the positions were last year. I mean, you probably saw it, but when you haven't really thought about just what a zero WAR player would do for the team at that position.
That's what you got to think about it. Like chemo and stand and deliver. You fill in the hole. Yeah. And when you fill in the hole in Caculas, it's better than when you had the hole, right? It's baseline is 0. It's better than having the hole.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what we're going to do here. Most of you watching this are going to hate this group of people that we're going to sign. But if we signed all these people, I guarantee the Sox would be a 500 team.
Yes.
They would be a 500 team because you would have none of the bad stuff.
This group would with the team that we have right now, would be a definite 500 team. So let's get started because we've got to go get drinking very shortly.
Yes,
so we're going to try and wrap this up as quickly as we can, but we want to get through all these positions.
Yes.
So first, the easiest one to fill, which is first base. It's a hole right now. We've got no one, and there's no one to back it up. Like there's no one to bring up. Don't tell me Andrew Blanc, guy hasn't even.
It's like
played nothing.
It's Zach Collins, who they didn't trust to play first.
Right. So that's who you have right now. So we chose the obvious, Jose Abreu. You bring back Abreu. It's a very easy call right here. I don't think we need to explain this one too much.
No.
I think we can move on to the next one.
Even the people that are like skeptical about Jose Abreu, that want to quibble about how many years, how much money he should get, Jose Abreu is going to be fine. He'll be a fine hitter for the next 3 years. It's really not a concern. And he's not going to be great either. He'll just be kind of good.
Right. So we'll put Abreu at first. Let's move on to right field.
Yep.
Now, I think right field, we've heard rumors of someone coming in at right field. I think a lot of people have hated it. But that is the mediocre player. Cole Calhoun is the line in the sand.
Absolutely.
It shouldn't drop down to Avi. But Cole is the line in the sand. If we got Ozuna out there or Puig, great. That's better than Calhoun. But we're cutting it we need Calhoun or better in right field this year.
Calhoun's defense will be so much better than any of the shit you saw last year. And his hitting is going to be not make you want to puke that bad, kind of okay. It'll be okay. Like,
yeah, it's
just okay, not horrible. Like No offense to our guy, Daniel Polka. Watching him hit last year, horrible.
Yeah.
Watching Ryan Cordell hit, horrible.
Cole Calhoun reminds me of a right fielder that you would have gotten in Minnesota in the 90s. Right?
Yes.
Like 20 home runs, 80 RBI, hits a little bit, gets on base okay. That's that guy.
The Michael Kadire.
Yeah.
He's
Kadire,
like Michael Kadire.
He's like a Kadire or a Kubel or any of those guys.
Yeah.
And that's not great, but that's not terrible.
That's right.
And we had terrible last year.
Yeah. We're upgrading from bad to I don't care that much.
5
Kind of
different
okay.
guys played right field last night, all of them -4.
Yeah.
Some of them you can't even believe they played long enough to get -4, but they did. That's it. That's unbelievable. So that right field's Cole Calhoun.
We got it locked down.
I'm going to let you take second base because I like your pick, but it's your pick. I want you to go with it.
Second base is a guy who Treasy put in my ear. It's not my guy who I put in my plan. My guy in my plan is a little more volatile than this guy. This guy, though, is guaranteed to give us a totally mediocre, not terrible, not good performance, and that's Brock Holt.
Yeah.
Brock Holt is, as Treasy would say, he's just taller than Nick Madrigal.
Yes, he is. And what I like about this one is that this is the perfect guy that you could say Nick Madrigal needs to push this guy out of position.
Yeah.
Because he does all the exact same things as Nick Madrigal.
Yeah, and Madrigal will be better at them. So
once he shows I'm better at this guy than these exact things, you automatically get an upgrade when he comes. So
it feels natural.
And you had, Yomer was a Gold Glove winner this year.
Correct.
At second base.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to bring him back, but
probably not.
But at the same time, he only produced like a 1.3 WAR or something. It wasn't. He didn't produce much because he doesn't hit it all. So bringing in Brock Holt, you're going to be right around the same place, and then you need Madrigal to come in and jump over him, right?
Yeah,
that's what you're looking for.
Totally see that.
And so that's why I like the Brock Holt choice there. Very mediocre. It's probably the most mediocre dude on this whole list, except for the next guy.
I was going to say, and with DH, I'd like to kick it back to Treasy.
Well, you're skipping our catcher.
Oh, you're right. We got catcher first.
Right? Yeah,
catcher first.
At catcher,
wait, you said backup catcher.
Well, I'm not sure. Possibly a split.
I think it's a split. It feels like a split.
So it's Melissa Oftemore. Oh wait, Travis Denard. That's right. I see. Apostrophes. I start thinking Pumpkins and Darcy.
Now, Travis was he played with the Rays this year. He was a top prospect, and then he couldn't stop getting hurt.
Yeah,
he was hurt think about
the Mets, right?
Yeah, think about the post MVP era of Derrick Rose with the Bulls. That's him. He was hurt all the goddamn time. Then he finally got healthy last year. Pretty good. And he's going to be out there. He's going to be available. He doesn't hit opposite hand of McCann, so everyone's going to go point at that first. But fuck that shit. Just get another guy who could give you 75 decent games behind the plate, hit a little bit, handle the pitching staff. That's all we need. McCann did a good job this year. He was stretched. McCann shouldn't play more than 70 games.
He had so Travis had I think a 107 OPS plus this year, which is about 30 points higher than our backup catcher.
Yes.
Last year. So huge improvement.
There's no question.
By getting an average player.
Just be average.
Just all he needs to do is be okay. He just needs to be healthy. That's basically what we would ask. We would bring him in and go, can you please not get hurt? That's all we're asking you to do. Get behind the plate. Don't get hurt.
It's sort of a 108 ethos. Just be fucking mediocre. All right. On to the next guy, which I jumped the gun on earlier. DH, Teresa's guy.
Yeah, Eric Thames. I
love him too. I love him too.
So he's a monster. You've seen this guy. He's got 2 fucking pythons coming out of his shoulders. Right?
Yes.
He's just insanely ripped. He's nicknamed God in Korea.
Yes.
Right? That's a pretty good nickname. Mm-hmm. And then he mashes right-handed pitchers, which there are a ton of in our division. Fuck Danny Duffy. I don't care about that. Everyone else is right-handed. So you got all these right-handed pitchers that we're going to have to face.
Yeah.
Having a left-handed DH that mashes righties seems obvious. And when there is a lefty, he should not be out.
He doesn't play. Yeah,
he should be out there. A Braden or Eloy DHs and someone else fills into their spots. Thames sits on the bench. But against every right-handed pitcher, he's out.
I mean, you get him out there, 450 plate appearances just against righties, or mostly against righties. It's beautiful.
30 home runs.
He can do it in our park. There's no
Yeah.
question. There's no question. Now we got to move on to the pitchers. Now this is the part where it's going to get a little. If you get a little queasy on roller coasters, you might want to take a little pill and just settle yourself down.
Like I looked at these and I don't like these.
There's like these tiers where it's like there's good pitchers and they cost a fortune, and then the guys at the bottom are like, I wouldn't let these guys pitch slow pitch 16-inch.
Yeah.
So we picked the two guys that we thought were kind of in between that.
Yeah, we tried to get guys that were not Urban Santana.
Urban Santana's hand was like Chubbs' hand in Happy Gilmore, and that's why it didn't succeed. So we're getting a non-Chubbs hand pitcher. We think. Hopefully.
I mean, because the first guy we had, both of them are a little bit.
They're like
because like so
for the people watching it, they're gonna think, I'm not sure about that.
The first one is Wade Miley, and we've seen Wade Miley be pretty good. And we've seen him be pretty bad.
Now, if I understand this correctly, Wade Miley is the uncle of Miley Cyrus, right? And then the brother of Billy Ray Cyrus. Right?
Okay.
Is that how that works or no?
I don't think so. But I want to believe.
I wish they would. All right. I want to get the Old Town Road into the ballpark a little more often. I know Treasy's not down with it. I am down with it. I want that. I want Baby Shark. I got demands for this year.
See, I think we'd be stealing Baby Shark. So
I'm
not totally down with that. But nevertheless, I think he's gonna be fine. Like he's the kind of guy that you would bring in and you would say, okay, just go out there and pitch until Jose Rodon is back, or Jose Rodon, Carlos Rodon. I was thinking he throws about as hard as Jose Rondon.
That was one of my favorite games. The Sox were down 5 runs and they brought in that guy throwing fluff balls.
He was throwing 52 miles an hour. It was amazing.
We could have gotten the box and made contact. The one time all year, we could have gotten it made contact.
But so when Carlos, if he comes back, I'm assuming he's going to come back in the middle of the season, and I would think that you're going to have a guy like Wade Miley out there until then, and then you would push Miley into the bullpen. That it just makes sense. It feels like a transition that is about this time in his career he's about to make.
What's interesting is that Miley was not that great, and in the last 2 years, he's save for like the last let's say month of the season, like this past season, he's been really good, really dependable, but not outstanding. Doesn't strike out a bunch of people, just sort of like gets by, does the job. That's what we're looking for here.
Yeah,
we're looking for the Jack's Pizza, Jack's Frozen Pizza of pizzas is what we're looking for our lineup here. Mediocrity is what we want. Dependable mediocrity.
So I don't know that he's quite Jack's Pizza. But nevertheless, he would be fine. He would be like, you shouldn't get anyone worse than him.
Right.
It's the point.
Yeah. You should not try to get
someone better. But if you get him, it's fine.
This is the bottom. This was the whole point of the exercise here that you suggested, Treasy. This is the bottom. This is the lowest we would expect for people filling in these spots.
So when they sign someone, we're gonna say, is this guy better than Wade Miley or worse than Wade Miley?
Yes.
Or the next guy.
And the next guy. Now, look, I want to apologize first. I heard the name on a podcast. I heard it on the Rates and Barrels podcast, which is Eno Saris, Derek Van Riper. They were just talking about random free agents, talking about the offseason. They brought this guy's name up, and he brought good feelings for me because I remember in Tampa he was good, and then he left Tampa. And so if you paid attention sort of a little more recent in his career, you could see him trotting out a 7 ERA at Sox Park. But they were pretty certain that he's healthy now. He's going to be okay. He'll be as mediocre as Wade Miley. That's Matt Moore. If Matt Moore gives up 35 home runs in a Sox jersey, that's on me. I'll let you guys, dunk on me, whatever. But I think that's a level of mediocrity above Urban Santana, above Chubbs.
You know where he's at? He's right in a beautiful territory we know as the James Shields level. That's where he's at. He's right at Shields.
Just go out there and make innings, and if you make a 4.5, 5 ERA, that's okay. We're fine with it. We're fine.
But make the innings. You got to have the innings.
Get the innings, right? Make sure that Dylan Covey isn't pitching those innings. If you just knock Dylan Covey out of those innings, that's your job.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole
point.
Like exercise.
Despagne and Covey should not pitch
in
a starting role
this year. They can pitch somewhere else.
These guys pitch instead.
Yes.
And that will make you a much better team. I think with 2, 4, 6, 7 guys we put together there.
Yeah.
the improvement of those guys would be about, let's give them 2 wins each, let's call it.
Yeah.
Over like
because a bunch of the spots
because
are negative.
Abreu's going to be the same, right? It's going to be about the same. So it's the 6 guys.
Yeah.
So like 12 to 15 wins, I would think that those guys would do because what they're replacing was so terrible.
Yes.
So I hope this gives you guys a little bit of hope for the offseason,
Right.
because you don't need to sign the top guys. You just need to not sign the bottom guys or do nothing. Doing nothing
would be worse.
is the worst thing you could do. That's the absolute worst thing you could do. And one thing we didn't address here is center field, because Luis Robert better be in fucking center field when we start the season. Like,
I want him in Chicago when it's still snowing. That's what I want. I understand you're going to protect that extra year. There still better be little snowflakes coming down when his ass is up here playing.
I want him in a fucking Maggie Simpson snowsuit out in center field to start the year, because he's never experienced that kind of cold before. Like, that's what I want to start this season. And if I don't get it, we're fucked. All right. I think that's about enough for tonight. We're going to go get to doing some heavier drinking.
Yeah.
Although you just knocked out like a quart of rum and coke.
Just a little rum and coke. I'm going to get on the Wally money train.
That sounds like a bad train to get on.
I haven't seen him in a while. I'm going to see him tonight, so we're going to get
on. And honestly,
if
I hear Wally money train, I don't think of
I'm not getting on that kind of train.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.